Let's talk about regular expressions. A regular expression is basically a pattern that could be matched against an input text. So .NET Framework provides a regular expression engine for such matching. So regular expression can be written in other programming languages, but these programming languages have to have an engine to be able to parse out this regular expression and get back a result. And .NET provides us with such an engine, which is great. That means we can use regular expressions with .NET. As you see, I'm on regex101.com, and this is a very amazing site that allows you to basically write your sample inputs and then your regular expressions and then run your regular expressions against your input. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write a sample input. I'm going to say, here is my cat. And then as my regular expression, I will say, here is my, I will say A to Z AT. Now, what happened here? You see on the right hand side, you see the explanation of your regular expression. So it says A to Z, match a single character present in the list below, A to Z. A to Z, a single character in the range between A and Z. So essentially what I'm doing is I'm saying if there is a pattern that looks like this in my given string, then that is a match. Now, my string can be a lot bigger than this. So this could be an entire paragraph, right? So it says blah, 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 and then something, something, something. You know, an entire text. This could be like thousands of lines. And then it says, here is my cat, and then keeps going. So it says, period, and then keeps going. Blah, blah, blah. So once I run the regular expression, though, against the text, there's only one match. So it goes through the entire thing and says, hey, only this part is a match. Now, even if I say cat, I change that to a rat, that will still match. See, if I take it out, there's no match. Match information, nothing. But if I change this to a rat, it'll still match. Here's my rat. Cat still matches. Why? Because I'm saying that the pattern is as such. I'm saying that the pattern should look like this. It should say, here is my, so all this is literal, right? Nothing is a pattern. And then I'm saying, okay, but then once you get to this, once you get to here is my space, and then you write my and then space, after that, I want you to say that it can match any letter from A to Z, and then once again it's a literal. So AT is a literal. So as long as it has that pattern, it will have a match. So even if I change C to Z, it'll still match because Z is this pattern that I'm specifying in the string. I'm saying anything from A to Z, and it falls from A to Z, right? Z is Z. It's in here. So this is one of the most basic examples in a regular expression where you have your string and then you have your regular expression, and your regular expression is consisting of literals and patterns, such as this one. Now, you don't have to have that pattern. You can just say, here is my at, or you can just say, here is my cat, right? And that'll still work, but you can do fancy things such as, you know, changing your text. That'll only match a specific thing, which is, here's my cat. So if I change that, that'll be a match. But if I change this to anything else, like rat, that won't match because the regular expression does not recognize it. But if you, in your regular expression, you have a pattern, so you have things such as A to Z, like that, that'll take the A to the Z into consideration. So if you put an R here or anything else, that'll change. And as I said, this is one of the basic examples. One other thing that we can do is we can do things such as group capturing. And group capturing basically allows us to not just match the text, but also extract information for further processing. So for example, let's say we have a bit of a complex example. So we say, all right, we have some HTML text. I've already copied the HTML text, so what I'm going to do is I'm basically going to paste it. This is our HTML text. That's what it's going to be. And then I'm going to paste the actual pattern. Now you see, let's go over this. This is just some HTML tag. This is how you represent a link, and we've already went over HTML. It's just an element, HTML element, and elements can have attributes. Attributes are just like more information about that element. In this case, it says, okay, yeah, you want a link element, but that link element, like what is the actual link that you want to go to? It's that. Then you can have more attributes on it. You can have class attribute on it so that you can style it, so you can identify that element and style it. And then, you know, you have your tags, right? You have your starting tag, and you have your end tag here, and between that you have the actual link text. So this would be very difficult to try to capture if you're just trying to use some text manipulation or string manipulation techniques. That will be very difficult. So you use regular expressions in order to capture data about this structure, about this text structure. In this case, we're saying we're looking at the literal A and then href. So basically this part is a literal. And then we're saying anything that's within these quotes, double quotes, right? We're trying to capture that. So we're trying to get the actual information between these quotes. That's why we're doing the capture grouping. So we're putting parentheses, and within parentheses, we have our regular expression. This regular expression, the dot star question mark, just basically says grab whatever is within these two quotes, literal quotes. And then the same thing happens for this guy, same thing happens for this guy. So anything that's between the starting tag and between the end tag right here. And then you see in the match group, you say the full match is, you know, from A to A. That's the full match. However, when I said you can extract information for further processing, this is it. So you extracting information from your full match. And then your full match is this, and then from that you're capturing the link, you're capturing the ID, and you're capturing some text, which is the text that's in between the end tag and the starting tag, right? So that's one thing we will be using with our simple web scraper, but I just wanted to show you the example of how to do it. And once again, you can read the explanation on the side. It'll simply say that, you know, you have these literals, and then within the literal, you're trying to capture certain groups, right? You're trying to capture certain information. So you, from the entire thing, you're saying, I want to capture this, I want to capture this, and I want to capture this, because that's what I want to look even more into. You're getting even more granular from your initial search, right? You're basically going one level deeper into your original search. And in order to do that, you're using groups. So you're doing your group capturing in 3 places here. So now let's actually go ahead and try to do our very first simple example that I've showed you with this is my cat in C#, to show you how .NET allows us to handle regular expressions. So we're here, and I'm going to say match collection. I'm going to say matches equals. Let's actually hover over it. Using system text regular expressions, that's the library that's going to allow us to use the regular expression engine from .NET. And we're going to say regex dot matches. And matches is basically a static method, as you can see on the regex class, that searches specified input string for all occurrences of the regular expression. So we're going to say the input is this is my cat, and the second is the string pattern. So the string pattern is going to say this is my, I'm going to say A to Z AT. So once again, it's pretty similar to what we did, right? So then I'm going to use for each loop, which you already know about, because match collection is basically going to return a list of matches. So I'm going to say iterate through that list. So the way we do it, you already know very well. We say var match in matches, and then we can just go ahead and print out our results, which is the match. So let's see what happens in this case. This is my cat, and we can once again say, you know, this doesn't just have to be that. We can just say blah, 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 you know, something, and, you know, it goes on and on and on, and then even more here, blah, blah, blah. Now let's see what happens. So we just wanted to extract this part based on our pattern right here. So you see, this is my cat. And even if I change this to this is my rat, that'll still be able to capture it. This is my rat. See? So it's a very beautiful and powerful thing. And we're going to be using regular expressions in our simple web scraper.